Alright, so we're back for another deep dive, and today...
It sounds exciting.
It is. Picking up with Maia and Alec. You know those Zulkowichin twins?
Right, yeah.
Who had that crazy crash landing on Earth after that whole Grecoin mess.
And they're trying to keep a low profile, right?
Yeah, exactly. Still trying to fix their ship, of course, and...
The blending in isn't easy, though, is it?
No, not at all, but so far they've met Aida.
Their trusty android companion.
And Zoe, who seems to be becoming a real friend, you know.
A real human friend, which is interesting.
Yeah, for sure. But this new text analyze has me thinking things are about to get...
Oh, yeah. A lot more complicated, for sure.
So let's jump right into it. This cafeteria scene is wild.
But definitely a turning point, I'd say.
You've got Alec and Maia, still trying to fit in, and then boom, Camila just walks up to them.
One of the popular kids, no less.
Right? Not just a hi or anything, but a full-blown invitation.
Pizza and video games, if I remember correctly.
Exactly. That would totally freak me out if I were them.
Well, yeah, think about it. They're trying to stay hidden.
Exactly. What's Camila's game here?
Could be genuine friendliness, who knows?
Or is it something more like...
a trap. Possibly.
It's high school, I mean...
Sequel's tough enough as it is.
Right. Without being an alien from another planet.
Exactly. So yeah, I get why Maia's so suspicious.
Oh, absolutely. She doesn't hold back either.
Yeah, she doesn't.
Straight up ask Camila if it's a trap.
Doesn't exactly scream trust, does it?
No, not at all. Shows how wary they still are of humans.
Understandably so, after everything they've been through.
But it also makes you think about the bigger picture, doesn't it?
Oh, for sure.
This whole idea of trust. How do you learn to trust again?
Especially in a world that's already proven to be dangerous.
And when you've got this massive secret.
You can't exactly open up to just anyone.
It's a tough spot to be in.
It is. It's something we can all relate to in a way, though, right?
Oh, totally. I mean, everyone's had to deal with trust issues at some point.
Exactly.
But then there's Alec. He seems almost happy about this whole thing.
Yeah. He's a bit more eager, isn't he?
Yeah, like relieved. You've been so isolated.
It takes a toll for sure.
Especially for a teenager.
Right. They crave connection at that age more than ever.
That makes you wonder if he's so lonely that he's...
willing to overlook some red flags.
Exactly. Which Maia's clearly picking up on.
Interesting how they're each handling this so differently.
Totally. But here's what gets me to. Camila doesn't just ignore Maia's concerns.
No, she doesn't.
She actually addresses them head on.
Now that is intriguing.
Like, is she for real? Or is this some kind of manipulation tactic?
It's hard to say. We haven't seen that kind of empathy from anyone else so far.
I know, right? Makes you wonder.
It does.
And then just when you think you're starting to get a read on Camila...
Ma'am.
That message pops up and they both look totally freaked out.
Yeah. Talk about a cliffhanger.
Right. And the timing of it.
So close to their encounter with Camila.
Makes you think they must be connected somehow.
Right. Is it a warning about her?
Or is it something else entirely?
So many questions.
This whole scene is like a Pandora's box. It really is.
All these questions about trust and belonging and the risks of letting people in.
Can they afford to step out of the shadows even a little bit?
And if they do,
what will it cost them?
That's what I want to know.
We'll have to wait and see, I guess.
Exactly.
That's the fun of it though, right?
Absolutely. Keeps you coming back for more.
Can't wait to see what happens next.
Me neither.
This whole uneasy alliance thing.
Yeah.
It's not just a clever title.
Right.
It really gets at the heart of what the twins are going through.
They're stuck between a rock and a hard place, aren't they?
Totally. Their instinct is to hide, to stay under the radar.
But that's not exactly sustainable, is it?
Not in the long run. This invitation from Camila really highlights that.
It's like their whole isolation strategy is starting to crumble.
Exactly. Makes you wonder if it's even possible to truly blend in.
Without forming some kind of connections, I mean, they can't live in a bubble forever.
Nope. Especially if they're going to be on Earth for a while.
And it's not just about the practical side of things either, right? No. There's that emotional toll, too.
Being constantly on guard, never letting anyone in.
It's gotta be exhausting.
Alec's reaction to Camila, even if it's partly teenage hormones.
Oh, definitely.
It shows just how powerful that need for connection is.
We all crave it to some extent.
And remember how they were with Zoe.
Right. That sense of relief when they finally met someone they could kind of relate to.
Exactly. This Camila thing, even if it's a setup.
It seems to be tapping into that same longing for connection.
Yeah, it makes you think, what if Camila really is being genuine?
That's the big question, isn't it?
Would the twins even be able to recognize that?
After all they've been through.
They're so used to seeing threats everywhere.
Understandably so.
It's like their trust muscles have completely atrophied.
I like that analogy. Their trust muscles.
Here's the thing. Even if Camila's on the level, there's still that huge risk. The risk of their secret getting out.
Exactly. That's where the uneasy part of this alliance really comes into play.
So let's say they do go to this party. What could happen?
Well, someone can notice something off about them.
Like their powers.
Right. Or maybe they slip up in their cover story.
Oh, yeah. Or, what about the Grec coin?
That's always a possibility.
What if they're already on Earth?
Monitoring the twins somehow.
Any move they make could put them right back in danger.
And that message they got at the end of the scene.
Right. So creepy.
Timing is just too perfect.
It makes you think it has to be connected to Camila somehow.
If it's a warning about her.
The stakes just went way up.
But if it's something else entirely.
But adds a whole other layer to this whole thing.
We're left with so many questions.
So many. Is Camila friend or foe?
What's that message all about?
And most importantly,
how will this whole experience change the twins?
will it push them further into isolation?
Or will they finally open up to the possibility of connection?
Even knowing the risks?
This is getting good.
I know, right? I can't wait to see what happens next. This whole thing with Camila feels like a real turning point for the twins.
I agree. They've been so focused on just surviving, you know?
Yeah, fixing the ship, staying hidden.
They haven't had time to really process everything that's happened.
Right, it's like they're finally starting to confront the bigger question.
What kind of life do they want to build here?
Assuming they're stuck on Earth for a while.
Exactly. Do they stay in the shadows forever?
Or is there a way to connect with people without, you know,
blowing your cover?
Yeah, it's not like they could just tell everyone they're aliens.
Imagine trying to explain that to Camila.
They'll probably think they were crazy.
Or worse, she tells everyone and then...
That's the thing about secrets, right?
They can really weigh you down.
It's like this invisible barrier.
Keeping them from truly connecting with the world.
And it's not just about hiding who they are. It's about...
suppressing their ability.
Right. We've seen how powerful they can be, but they're always holding back.
Pretending to be normal.
Which can't be easy. Imagine having those powers and not being able to use them.
Like a bird with clipped wings. Exactly. It's got to take a toll on them psychologically.
Makes them feel even more different, more isolated.
Makes you wonder if there's a way for them to integrate those abilities into their lives here.
To be both Vulcans and human at the same time. Now that's an interesting thought.
It's like the core of this whole story, isn't it?
What does it really mean to belong?
To find your place in a world that might not be ready for you.
And then there's the whole political angle.
Right. What happens if their secret gets out?
Government scientists, the public.
It could be chaos.
Camila's invitation. It might seem small,
but it could have huge consequences.
For the twins, and maybe even for Earth.
It's a lot to think about.
So what do you think listeners could see? What would you do if you were in their shoes?
Would you trust Camila?
How would you handle that pressure of keeping such a huge secret?
And what about that message?
What do you think it means? Head to the comments and let us know your thoughts. We want to hear your theories.
The best deep dives are the ones we take together.
So until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning,
and keep diving deep.
We rise above.